And my next guest has added many strings to his bow in the last few years. A well-known radio presenter on Dublin's 98 FM. He's also there as a comedian, doing very well. But he's moved out of the world of television with RTÉ's Republic of Telly, which returns to our screens tonight. Dermot Whelan, good morning. How are you today?
Morning, Tom.
So you mustn't be one of the brightest and best then as well, are you not? Because the brightest and best are leaving this country.
Oh, so I hear, yeah, and it's just the dregs left behind.
Yeah. You and I, two dregs.
In our underpants, polishing shotguns, wondering what to do, right. Waiting for the angel of death.
Are you not getting the offers from overseas? Can you not?
Oh, yeah, every morning. Do you not get them?
Every morning.
Loads of them. Yeah.
Walk through them to get here.
No.
And, yeah, it's just us chickens then. This is right.
We'll keep the ship afloat.
Well, only joking. You're very welcome. I have to say before we start, you were the one of the MCs at the PPI Awards. You were very funny.
Thanks.
You played a blinder, Dermot.
It was a little bit of a roasting, but sure, with that many egos in one room, you have to give them a few.
I thought
pokes.
A man from another radio station was going to try and kill you later on.
Yeah, I had to kind of skulk around in the shadows for the rest of the evening.
This is a man from FM 104, isn't he? And Adrian, is that his name?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I had a kind of a go at everybody. He tried to do a witty
riposte. He left out witty. Yeah, it's that fine line between the witty riposte and just riposte.
It was a good night though, yeah, but I think you have to have a go at everybody.
Oh, it was great. No, it was really great.
I don't know if I'll be asked back, but
I'd say you will. God. I've often wondered how you kind of started, because I kind of knew you a long time ago and it was comedian.
Yeah.
And then 98 just seemed to, which is a big change to present a breakfast show.
Yeah, well, I was actually doing the radio before I started comedy, and I met Des Bishop when I started in news. I didn't know anything about news, and I had absolutely no knowledge of current affairs, but I did a really good impersonation of a newsreader, and I could always kind of do Terry Wogan. I could sound like a broadcaster if I wanted to. But I didn't know anything. So I got a job being a newsreader, because I sound a little bit like Jimmy Greeley as well. He's a well-known newsreader, and so I got the job doing that, and then I met Des Bishop while I was in the radio station, because I used to do little comedy bits for a late-night talk show, and Des gave me the chance to do a little bit of stand-ups. Yo, man, you gotta do it. You gotta do your stand-up. Come on, come into the International. I don't know why he talks like that. It doesn't sound remotely like him.
Terry Wogan was good.
Yeah, I should have stopped there.
Probably should.
But no, Des gave me break, so I started doing stand-up then, and it's taken a bit of a backseat now though since the telly started, because with the radio and TV and 3 kids.
What's going on? 3 kids?
Yeah.
You were saying, what are their ages again?
6, almost 5 and 1.
Total respect.
Two boys and a girl. But I've been following your mantelpiece story of late, and I feel for you, because I've actually been on the other side of it, so don't be too hard. And it was your daughter, wasn't it?
Yeah. You've written on mantelpieces.
Well, not on the mantelpiece. When I was 5, I walked into the kitchen and there was a screwdriver on our new wooden kitchen table, and I carved Dermot into it. And I still remember my dad's face looking with this utter look of disbelief, going, "What would make you carve your name into the table?" And it wasn't as if I was, I'm amazing at art, and this was the first beginnings of my true expression. I'm terrible. It was just vandalism.
What age were you?
I was 5.
Ah, Jesus.
Yeah.
You can't even give out here, really. To be honest,
no, but I didn't even know why I did it.
How long had that table survive?
It's still there, would you believe?
God,
still there.
That puts me in great heart for my mantelpiece.
But I love it. There's ink on my marble mantelpiece, and the diamonds on my shoes chipped the gold plating on the floor.
We don't have much, but we did have a marble fireplace. That was the pride and joy.
Could you not blend it in? Possibly just start drawing. Yeah, you could. Little motif of Eva going on in the fireplace. It'll be a real work of art.
Yeah, I'll set her free on that in a few moments' time.
Or all put your name on it and be like, a lovely little family.
I like that too.
Expression.
Yeah, I like that too. These are definitely very likely, because the stuff coming through here. Have you tried chipping off the signature with a hammer and chisel, Tom? Asks one.
Yeah.
Brain box.
It could turn into Father Ted, they're trying to get the one little dent out of the car, and then after a while the whole thing's in bits.
You had it there a second ago, Ted. You had it a second ago.
Yeah.
But you had to go back to it. Yeah, that would be it exactly. Republic of Telly. I have to, I don't blow more smoke in your direction, but you have raised that a notch from previous incarnations.
Yeah.
That way. How did you manage to?
God, I don't know. I mean, it's quite an ambitious show, and I think just the nature of it was going to take a few seasons to kind of find its feet anyway. And I know Neil used to present it before me, and he wanted to get back to his stand-up. So, I mean, I brought, a few ideas to the table and stuff like that, but I think as a show it was evolving anyway. So by the time I took over, whoever was going to do it, it was going to get better, I think.
So you're a lucky man.
I think I am a lucky man, yeah.
That's the most important thing to be in life.
Yeah.
Lucky.
But I had no intention. I suppose all I wanted from it was just a bit of experience as a presenter, because I had a very short life on TV3 back in about 2005, presenting a sports show. Again, something which I know very little about. I'm a terrible... Oh, here we are. Munster Rugby. There we are. But yeah, so I didn't really know what I was doing, and the show lasted 6 weeks. And I remember I got that classic line, "Oh, you'll definitely be back in the autumn." Oh. And then literally the next day I heard secondhand, "Oh no, your show's been cancelled."
Oh, awful.
Yeah, the Offside Show was called.
And it was.
It clearly was, yeah.
Sad. But this, apart from one or two of the really big success stories that we'll talk about in a second, you really go very close to the bone with having a go at on-air RTE talent.
Yeah, and I'm quite surprised. In fairness to RTE, they've been brilliant. I mean, to let us do what we do, and they don't start sticking their oar in every week saying you can or can't do this and that. So, I mean, hats off to them. It can't be nice, some things that we're saying about some of the shows, but they're willing to go with it.
Who in particular do you know that you've offended?
Well, have you got a half an hour?
Yeah, I do, actually.
A lot of people have taken it in a good light. I mean, my thing is that I try not to... the tone of the show is very important to me, that we're not nasty and not in a kind of a schoolyard, nah.
Yeah.
That we do poke fun, but I would hope to think that it's kind of inclusive and in a fun way, and I think maybe that has helped with the popularity, that we're not trying to be too smart-arse, but some people haven't taken it well, and
there's a name after coming up on the screen which you didn't need to put up on the screen. It's the one name I put down on a piece of paper this morning when I woke up and I was talking to you. Craig Doyle. Discuss.
Actually, Craig is one of the guys we haven't had a go at on the show so far.
Why not?
I don't. Well, because when his show is relatively new, and I don't believe, his shows need a chance to get up and running, I think, before you start poking fun.
Do they?
I think so. I'm trying to be as politically correct as I can. But I do like Craig, because maybe another way, it could be awkward because our desks are right beside each other.
Now we're getting somewhere.
So it can be pretty awkward. But walking around the corridors there, I tend to look at the floor a lot now.
I'd say you do.
Because you get a lot of looks,
Yeah.
They're walking towards you thinking, do they hate me? Do they hate me? Did they see you last week? Did they see you last week?
Did design ever say it to you?
Not directly, no. No one has ever come up to me and said,
throwing you against a wall.
I really hate what you said. No, nobody has. But I have heard secondhand that people weren't happy.
Right. You've heard people crying from the other side of the divide.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that Maura Duran was unhappy with some of the things we were saying, but I was kind of disappointed at that, because we didn't like her show, but we loved Maura, and we thought we were championing Maura because it was a ship that was sinking, but somehow she managed to keep it going, with a smile on her face. This was the 4 o'clock show? I can't even remember the name of it now. That's terrible, isn't it?
Speaks volumes. And you were championing it.
4 Live. I think that was what it was, yeah.
The ironically entitled 4 Live.
Yeah, but that's one of the things. So sometimes you think that you're kind of championing somebody, but then they might get upset,
Well, on the championing, you have to say Rubber Bandits and Dead Cat Bounce. They have a lot to thank you for, don't they?
Yeah, but for me it's very important, and it always was, that I've coming from a stand-up background, that the show could act as a vehicle, for people to start at least selling tickets for live shows, But the Rubber Bandits have gone on they're working with Channel 4.
Kind of speaks volumes, though, doesn't it, about talent and the audience and putting the two in touch with each other.
Yeah.
And literally, you were able to just connect things that were meant to kind of be together almost.
Yeah, and for live comedians, there are very few outlets, particularly in Irish TV, for somewhere to showcase them, other than there have been a few. I mean, I've done stand-up on particular some chat shows and stuff, and it was awful, it was horrible. I mean, it just wasn't done right, you know. It's a very delicate thing, comedy, and if you get it wrong, nobody wins, and, you know, not even the audience. So so it is nice to have to be able to work with guys that I know from the circuit, and then if it can help them, then fantastic.
So are there new things planned for this? Georgia Salfa back?
Georgia is back, yes, because we value ratings. And I don't know why, but every time we put her on the TV, our ratings go up.
Do they really?
Yeah, she's very popular, but she's cool. You know, she's great fun, and I think her and the other models who have been on the show, they're eager to kind of show another side to them, that they're not just.
She's a lovely girl.
Going to Crystal 24 hours.
I'm trying to get her into a live-in kind of convent nunnery thing, the Poor Clares. I met her the other day, and I was just I'm planning to talk to the Poor Clares this week. So I was showing her the whole prospect. Should have gone off your radar then.
When Georgia?
Yeah, when she takes the vows, and I get her into a nunnery.
Yeah, best of luck with that. I think, is she going to the jungle or something? She might be.
I don't know. I'll probably tune in tonight to find out from you, if that's all right.
I know she's getting more expensive every time we try and get her back on the show, and rightly so. She's doing great. I would have thought she was doing it. Yeah, she is. I would have thought she was doing it love. Dermot, thank you very much for coming in today. Look forward to joining you tonight. Thanks a million. Yeah, it's on at 10 o'clock, and thanks for having us. Yeah, and hopefully there's nothing about you in the show at all, so you're safe.
All right, thank God for that. Boy.